Few scholars says more people means more power. Others will say more people means more problems. Every year on July 11th, we observe World Population Day, which is a reminder that population isn't just a number, it's the heartbeat of the nation's potential. And sometimes it's a pressure point too. As the world is heading towards 8 billion population, India has taken the center stage, officially becoming the most populous country on the planet. But here is the real question that arises in everyone's mind. Is our growing population a boon or a bane? In this video, let's decode that particular issue, which is a double-edged sword of India's demographic explosion. Because in the story of India's future, the people are both the protagonists and the plot twist. Hello everyone, welcome to V2B Academy and I welcome you all to the discussion on the World Population Day 2025. So as part of this particular day, on the occasion of this particular day, we are going to detailedly analyze is population a boon or a bane for India's growth history or a growth. Okay, so basically we celebrate World Population Day on 11th June 2025. So basically today is the World Population Day. Every year on 11th June or 11th July we celebrate Population Day. So this year we have chosen a theme called Empowering Young People to Create the Families They Want in a Fair and Hopeful World. So as we are seeing with respect to familial life or a family life, we are seeing a lot of chaos and lot of issues all around the world. So that's the reason we have chosen this particular theme in order to make people aware that empowering young people to create their own families, to create the families, to set the partner or to choose the partner on their own is something which is the need of the hour. So to make sure the awareness happens, this particular theme was chosen on this particular day. So why population matters? So India is with 1.44 billion people, we know as per 2024 data, and India has surpassed China to become the world's populous country. So this particular fact reveals that globally and nationally there are a lot of issues with respect to population. So within India also, if you take, there are southern nations who face the population decline, whereas the northern states, the northern part of India faces the population rise. So there is a lot of issues with respect to population. Okay, so some faces the population decline, some are facing population increase. Population increase may lead to the resource crunch. Population decrease may lead to the human resources crunch. In this way, population increase or decrease can act as a double-edged sword. Okay, so this is the reason we have picked this particular topic, and this is very important for the GS1 and GS2 point of view. So in the part of society and also social justice, we have a topic called as population and the issues arising out of the population. So we can link this particular topic to that particular syllabus area. Okay, so population is not just a number, it's like a dynamic force. Okay, so it will lead to the development. Sometimes this population will help in developing that particular nation if this particular population or human resources or skills are not developed properly, or if we are not utilizing the population change or a demographic dividend stage. Demographic dividend can turn into a demographic disasters. So World Population Day 2025 alongside the upcoming digital census 2027 make us remind that this particular topic can be very useful for the coming exams. Okay, whether it is for 2025 mains exam or it is for 2026 prelims and mains, this particular topic is going to be a important one. So let's understand about all of these details in more detail. So 11th July annually we'll celebrate as the World Population Day. So every year we are celebrating it. So this is being celebrated from 1987 when world has attained the population of 5 billion. Okay, from then we started celebrating this particular day. Okay, this particular day was established or started celebrated by UNDP and also United Nations General Assembly's resolution. Okay, from that particular 1987, post 1990, we regularly started celebrating this particular day. Okay, so first celebration was held in 1990s. So 90 plus countries have celebrated this particular day. Okay, the theme of 2025, as I have already told you, empowering young people to create the families they want in a fair and hopeful world. So the global population as of 2025 is 8 billion. Okay, so in this 8 billion, India is at the center stage with the highest population. Okay, so what are the objectives of celebrating such days? This will help in raising awareness about the demographic trends of the world. Okay, this will help in attaining or making awareness about the reproductive rights of the people, and this will help in youth empowerment also. Okay, and this will promote gender equality, healthcare access to the women and other vulnerable sections, and population policies. This will create some awareness about the population policies also. So this day is celebrated and it is in line with sustainable development goals. For example, sustainable development goal 3, 5, 10 and 12 are all directly and indirectly linked to this particular celebration. Okay. This particular day, as we are celebrating, as it comes into the light, if you take up or pick up today's newspaper also, you'll see 2 or 3 articles focusing on this particular aspect. It means as we are celebrating, okay, as we have picked one day as a population day, that is the reason we have chosen to actually discuss about or analyze about the population related issues in the newspaper. In the same way, not only in India, across the world, this might be a same thing. Okay, so in some places they might conduct some seminars or some kind of meetings to raise the awareness. In some places media can play an active role. In some places not only print media but social media can actually play an active role in creating awareness. So we have chosen one day to celebrate because to bring that awareness. Okay, so this will help in bringing sustainability, okay, with respect to the resource usage and with respect to population control and with respect to how to use or utilize the human resource well. Okay, so this will help in achieving the youth aspirations well. So in the line or in the context of this particular day, we have chosen the 2027 census is a topic to be discussed in today's video because we know census is something which is frequently appearing in the news. So few details about census is something which you need to know. So the first digital census in the Indian history is going to take place as of in 2027. So last time census was conducted in 2011. So after 2011 it needed to be conducted. So in India we follow decennial census pattern, right? Which means after 2011 we need to conduct the census in 2021. But we know 2020 and post 2020 we have seen the COVID-19 crisis. Okay, we are in a pandemic stage. So that's the reason it was not possible for the government to conduct the census. So that's the reason we have picked up 2027 as a target year for which India's census is going to held. Okay, so the first caste based enumeration is going to happen, and first caste based enumeration was done even before independence in 1931. Okay, so census will be generally conducted in 2 phases. So under the Census Act of 1948, it will be conducted in 2 phases. One is house listing phase and another one is population enumeration phase. So in the house listing phase, so we actually list the houses that are there in India. So this will start from October 2026 and from March 1st, 2027, the house population enumeration stage is something which is going to happen. Okay, if you have seen the yesterday's newspaper has spoken something about NPR, the National Population Registry, which has gained its rights or which has a legal status from the statutory board. Okay, legal status from some act. Okay, this has a statutory status or a legal status from an act called Citizenship Amendment Act. So this particular NPR exercise is also going to be happened in this particular house listing stage. Okay, NPR is also going to happen in this house listing stage. So what is the difference between census and NPR? This is also something which you have to know. So in the census we actually count the citizens of the country, but in the National Population Register we will count the residents of the country. So what's the difference between residents and citizens? Citizens are the one who attains the citizens according to the principles that are laid down in the Constitution and also the Citizenship Act. But residents are the one who stays in India even if they are outsiders. If they are staying in India for continuously 6 months or if they are intended to stay for the next 6 months, they can be treated as the residents of the country. Okay, so NPR will also help us and the policy makers to make the policies and to know the statistical data that is there. Okay, so in the 2 phases, the census is going to happen, and for the first time digital census is going to happen in this year, okay, in this particular 2027 year. Okay, so we are going to use lot of digital tools like enumerator app will be there, real-time dashboards will be there, cloud syncing technology was adopted. Okay, self enumeration is another important feature of this 2027 census. Okay, citizens need to submit the data via portal by receiving a unique ID. Okay, they can do the self enumeration without any outsider. And GPS tagging and geofencing will be there, so this will help in bringing the accuracy in the spatial data. And also we are going to add the caste data in the 2027 census. Okay, comprehensive allocation and the comprehensive collection of the particular caste data will help in framing the policies well. Okay, the caste data will help in framing the policies well and targeting the beneficiaries well. Okay, and we are doing something called as uniform coding. Okay, based on the caste, based on the occupation, and based on the language, we are doing the uniform coding, which is not important for the exam. But there are some challenges, because as we are coming up with the digital census, so all the people of India are not literates. Even if they are literates, most of them doesn't know how to use the digital tools. For example, you might have seen some senior citizens who know how to speak, how to write and all, but they don't know how to use mobile. So in the same way, we can see the places, okay, we can take the examples of women who are not aware of these particular things. We can take examples of people who are facing the issues because of lack of infrastructure. Mainly, you can take example of northeastern part of India, where infrastructure is lacking, where internet facilities are not available well. So this create the digital divide or a digital illiteracy. This is the problem. The second problem is the connectivity gaps. Okay, so there is an offline mode with auto sync. This may create the implementation gap. So we don't know how far this particular feature can be applicable or implemented. The next one is GPS errors can be there. Okay, that may create some kind of issues with respect to it. App glitches can also happen, and data quality is another thing. So all of this can lead to the errors. For example, GPS errors can cause the overall errors in the list. So these errors will actually drop the data quality. So these are all the issues with respect to this particular census. Now let's go to another topic of discussion of this particular video, that is whether the population of India is boon or bane to the country. Okay, whether it is useful to the country or whether it is not useful for the country. So there are several scholars who support this particular statement that population of India is of usefulness. Okay, we have some use with respect to population, because we are in a demographic dividend stage. So most of the population of India are between 15 to 59 years, who are of the working age population. So more working age population will help in creating more economic gain to the country, right? So and the median age of the India is 28 to 29 years. So which will also show that India's youth are more. Okay, youth population is more. They'll help in increasing the GDP. They'll help in improving the economy of the nation. Okay, so they will have a capability to add 2% to the GDP annually. So this is as per the Niti Aayog report. So by 2040, they may add 2% to the GDP, and they'll have a capability of creating $1 trillion economy. Okay, they will contribute for the $1 trillion economy as per the Niti Aayog by 2030. Okay, and India has a large domestic market. We don't need any other market to go outside or to wait for the market or to see about the market. But India itself have a largest domestic product or a largest domestic market, which helps in selling our products well. Okay, so we have a lot of people. That is why we have high consumption drives, and we have come up with Digital India initiatives, Make in India initiatives. So Make in India initiative will help us to turn into Atmanirbhar Bharat in India, and also Digital India will help in filling the gaps that were created because of the digital divide. Okay, so if you look at the global diaspora, Indian people are going outside. We are seeing a phenomena of people going outside and studying there, doing their jobs over there, and they're sending back the money to India, right? So this particular money which is sent back by the foreigners, okay, by the Indians who went to foreign countries, is called as remittances. So if you take the remittances also, as of 2022, India is the toppest country who is receiving the highest amount of remittances. Okay, Kerala and Punjab economies are relying on the Gulf region. Okay, most of the Keralites are going to Gulf regions to get the employment. So Kerala is the one who most part of the Kerala's GSDP is also coming from the remittances only. Youth innovation and gig economy. So we are coming up with a lot of startups also. We have startups of ONDC, UPI, Byju's, Zomato, Ola. All of this will help in contributing to the economy. And we know Prime Minister Narendra Modi has already told India is not a country of job seekers but a job creators. Definitely, as India strives for job creating economy, definitely it will help in giving the employment to the population, and also this population can help in contributing to the economy of the country, right? So this population will also act as a tool of the soft power. Okay, they can act as a soft power tool. For example, we can promote Ayurveda, yoga, cinema, diaspora. All of this can be promoted. And Indian health workers are working abroad, so like in UK, USA, Gulf, whoever went there. So Indian diaspora who are working in the other countries, they can act as a soft power tool to India. Okay, we can negotiate with those countries in order to come up with a policy, because those countries economies are also depending on India's diaspora. Okay, so that is why we can say population is important. And not only that, so as we will have the largest market, so the consumption will be high. If population is more, definitely consumption and demand of the products will be high. Definitely people from outside, so other country people, whether it is a private or the public sector, they'll be ready to invest in India because they'll get that huge market over here. Okay, so because of that also we can gain a lot of investments to India. So not only that, even within India the competitive spirit will increase as the human resource increase, as the demographic dividend stage is there as of now. So this will help in making India to achieve something called as Vikasit Bharat by 2047. In this way, population is a boon to country, but there are some issues with respect to India, because population is there, we know. So in order to turn them into a human resource, or to increase or intensify their human potential, definitely we need to skill them, right? We need to provide some skills and we need to provide some employment to them. But India is already facing the issue of unemployment. So almost 17% urban youth are unemployed. Okay, so and most of the times we are seeing underemployment issue also with respect to agriculture. So mostly 16% GDP is something which are getting contributed from the agriculture, but still now 46% of Indian population are dependent on agriculture. So excess population is there in the agriculture who got stuck in it. Okay, so because of that, it is creating something called as disguised unemployment. And what is the economic mistake of India is, we have, so in the structural change we have directly jumped from the agriculture boom to the service boom without actually growing the manufacturing sector. So but manufacturing sector is the sector which has a capability of providing more employment. Okay, so a lot of the labor intensive sectors are there in the manufacturing sector itself, but India is lacking in the manufacturing sector. So basically what I want to tell is, we are facing unemployment issues, and most of the times even if jobs are there, people are lacking skills. Okay, people are lacking skills. So this is because most of the academies or universities are lacking that coordination with the industries. Okay, there is a gap between industries and academia. So that particular gap is also leading to the people who are not skilled enough, or who are not actually according to the demand of the industries. So even if the jobs are there, people are not equipped with proper skills. Okay, that is another problem. So for example, if I tell you, as we are unemployed, so we can tell through an example. So in 2022, there was a railway post notification that was given. Okay, so this was given for 90k people. So 90k vacancies were there, but 2.5 crore people has applied for this particular railway jobs. So this shows the amount of unemployment that is there in India. Second one is pressure on infrastructure. So definitely most of the people in India are living in the urban areas. Okay, they are getting migrated to the urban areas. So this urban migration, or the people going to urban areas, will create that pressure in the urban areas. For example, more than 30% of the urban population are there in the more than 30% of Indian population are there in the urban areas, and within the urban areas also more than 35% are living as slum. Okay, they are living in the slum areas. So this is according to UN Habitat report. And if you look at the Delhi's air quality index also, so this was impacted by the urban migration only. Okay, so even if population is more, we need to distribute equally in all the areas, but most of the population are concentrated in the areas of urban regions. Okay, for example, within Telangana you can see more than 50% of the population are living in the Hyderabad itself. Okay, so this will create the additional pressure on the existing infrastructure that is there. So this will create the issues like traffic jams. This will create something called as urban heat island issues. So these kind of all issues will be raised, right? Next, low human capital. As I've already told you, people are not equipped with proper skills. That is another problem. You can take as a report. This is an education report. This shows that only 43% of class 8 rural students are able to do the basic maths. So this kind of education is there. So despite of we coming with the national education policy, the implementation gaps are there. We are not able to implement it properly. Okay, so and also you can take the HDI index. So it is around, so India has ranked more than 130 only. So it shows the gap that is there with respect to India. In most of the indexes, you can take example of Pakistan and Nepal and even Sri Lanka, they are ranking in a proper way than India. Okay, and another issue with respect to population is demographic imbalances. So as I've already told you, so if you take India, so southern part of India is something which is facing lot of senior citizens. Okay, so aged population are there and more concentrated in the southern region, and Kerala is a state with a more elderly population. Okay, in the northern part of India, most of the population are young. Okay, so this kind of divide is there. So there is a demographic imbalances that are there. If you take the total fertility rate also, Bihar's total fertility rate is 3.0, that is 3, and the total fertility of the Kerala is 1.8. So these kind of issues are also there. So that's the reason you might have seen the CMs of Andhra Pradesh, Kerala and Tamil Nadu are emphasizing and persuading people to actually like give birth to more kids. Okay, this is because the southern part of India is facing the old age population or a senior citizen population, which might create some pressure on the economy of the southern states. Okay, so next one is gender inequalities are there. So for example, if you take female labor force participation, okay, so that is around 24%. So this is something which shows that the gender inequalities are existing in India, and there are problems like sticky floor syndrome. Okay, there are problems like glass ceiling effect. So what is this sticky floor effect? Sticky floor effect is nothing but, you might have seen lot of people started working, like lot of women are started working and doing their jobs, right? But you might not see most of the women in the top level positions. Like if you go to any company, most of the companies will have male CEOs, okay, and most of the reputed posts are held by the male people only. Okay, male, that is men are occupying the main positions of the company or main positions of any area maybe. Okay, so this particular syndrome where the female position or the female are not given a chance to become a CEOs or a chance to be in a top position, this particular syndrome is nothing but a sticky floor mechanism. Okay, so we are seeing the glass ceiling effect also, the sticky floor effect also. So glass ceiling also means the same. So women are not able to climb up the ladder in the organizations, because of which it is lacking the women empowerment. So despite of women getting the jobs, they are not able to climb the ladder within the organization. So that is another problem. So what we should do? Okay, we have actually the population is boon to the country, but there are some structural issues, there are issues with respect to India that may create the population or turn the population into bane. So what kind of steps we can take in order to utilize the population well, utilize the people well, utilize the human resource well? So what kind of initiatives we can bring? So first thing is, as per the essay report, I have already told you, 8th class kid is not able to solve the basic math problems. So that's the reason we need to focus on education. And I've already told you with respect to skills also, I've told you an example of academia and industry linkage. So where there is no proper coordination between academia and the demand of the industries. So we need to create that particular linkage, and we need to coordinate with the academies, with universities, with the industrial demand. Okay, so we need to provide quality education. Digital tools needed to be utilized in order to impart education to the areas. Okay, so vocational focus needed to be there, practical learning methods, and all the features of the national education policy are also something which are needed to be implemented on full scale. Okay, so and for the skill development, we need to come up with these similar schemes like Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. These kind of schemes needed to be developed, and we need to concentrate on health also. So if population is more, definitely this will help in countries' economic growth. But if population are not healthy, definitely population will become the burden for the country. So that's the reason we need to focus on the issues like nutrition, maternal health, insurances and all. Okay, for this we need to come up with the schemes like Ayushman Bharat, Poshan Abhiyan, etc. And next problem is with respect to gender inequalities, right? So for the empowerment of women and for the empowerment of transgenders also, so we need to come up with the abhiyans like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, self-help groups. In the same way like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, we need to come up with the steps for the transgenders also. Okay, we need to strive for the rainbow revolution. Next one is urban-rural balance is something which we need to follow, because I have told you more than 30% of the people of India are living in urban areas. So maybe if census is conducted on full scale, more than 30 or more than 40 might also are also living in the urban areas. This might be because of the lack of educational factors or educational facilities in the rural areas, or lack of employment in the rural areas. So that's the reason we need to focus on the equal development. Mainly the state governance need to focus on equal development in both the areas. Okay, for that we need to come up with the PM Awas Yojana, NG Narega, Amrut mission. Okay, and we need to do justice for the demography. So we need to reward those states which are of the low TFR, because they have followed the family planning measures on the full scale. For example, we can take Kerala, we can take Tamil Nadu, we can take Andhra Pradesh, Telangana examples, and other southern states who have properly followed the family planning measures and have achieved the population control in the southern part. But the people states like Bihar, the states like UP, okay, and many more states in the northern part of India did not follow the policies of the family planning. So because of which we are even now, for example, if you take the Bihar example, the total fertility rate of the Bihar is still 3. Okay, so they are not striving, or they're not coming up with the family planning measures. So in this case, in order to stop punishing, or in order to stop the problems that are faced by the southern part of India, we need to reward them because they have implemented family planning measures successfully. Okay, so next one is weak formalization. So whatever the gig economy that is there in India, for example, we have Uber, we have something called as Zomato, Swiggy, these kind of gig economy. So these kind of jobs which are there in this particular sector needed to be promoted, and we need to come up with the social security measures for protecting them. Okay, for that we need to formalize their economy through e-Shram portal, labor codes and all. Okay, so this will help in turning them from unorganized or informal sector to a formal economy. Okay, because of which they can get the advantages of the schemes that are taken up by the government. So in that way we can turn a population, our population, or in that way we can utilize our population to make India a developed country or a Vikasit Bharat by 2047. So definitely we can say, so the final point we can say is, as said by the Amartya Sen, a large population is not a problem, but unproductive population is something which is a problem. So we need to focus on balancing the population well, and also we need to focus on utilizing the human resource well. Okay, we need to intensify the human resources, intensify the utilization of the human resources by imparting skills, by imparting lot of values in them. Okay, next one that I can say is, India's demographic future stand at the crossroads. Okay, so India is not either a boon or a bane. It is at the crossroads of both these things. Okay, so with the tools which are given through the World Population Day, we need to bring the awareness in the people. Okay, we need to come up with the data driven policies. For example, we are conducting census in 2027, right? So we need to utilize the tools like Census 2027. So we need to use all of these mechanisms to make our country, or to utilize the population well. Okay, this is a unique opportunity for the population of India to harness the human capital for the national transformation. Okay, so we need to invest in youth, we need to invest in health of the people. We need to invest in the gender equality programs, equity programs. Okay, by investing on all of this, we can actually turn and we can fulfill the idea of Vikasit Bharat by 2047. And we need to turn the population explosion to population empowerment. Okay, so try to use this particular jargon in the answers. Okay, directly you can copy paste this particular jargon in your answers to score more. Okay, so yeah, that was the end of the session. Okay, so here we have also provided a value addition. So you can use economic survey reports. For example, in whichever year you will write the mains, try to pick up the data from the economic survey and try to use to substantiate your points. And you can use the latest ASER report data whenever you are writing the population related data. And you can use this kind of jargon like demographic dividend, burden, demographic disasters, and youth bulge, aging paradox, labor absorption deficit. Use this kind of jargon when you write the mains answers. Okay, but don't dump unnecessarily. Wherever it is helpful, please use those jargon. And I've already told you the jargon like glass ceiling effect, okay, sticky floor effect. Use these kind of things also. And next, I've told you the data also, but use this particular data in your answers. So India's working age population is 65%, urbanization is 35% according to 2011 census, and it is projected to grow to 40% by 2030. Okay, literacy rate is 77%. Use this kind of data in order to substantiate your points. Okay, let us look at the prelims MCQ based on the discussion. So, which of the following statements regarding India's 2027 census are correct? It will be India's first digital census. Caste enumeration will be done for the first time since 1931. The population enumeration phase will be conducted in October 2026 for all the states. Enumerators will only use paper forms to collect the data. So try to answer this particular question. The options are, so option A 1 and 2 only, option B 1, 2 and 3, option C 2 and 4, option D 1, 2, 3, 4. So try to attempt this particular question. You can comment down the answer, or else you can go to a Telegram channel, so the link of which will be placed in the description box. If you go to the Telegram channel, we'll post an MCQ. Okay, there will be a polling option. You can click the polling, okay, to answer the question. And to get the access of the PDF also, you can go to Telegram channel. Try to utilize the jargon that I have provided over here. So for that you need the PDF, right? So that's the reason, go to Telegram. Please subscribe to Telegram channel of V2B Academy and then get access of the PDF, and also please attempt the question over there. Okay, please share these videos with your friends and fellow aspirants so that they'll also watch these videos. So definitely, to make the PDFs, to make the classes, it takes a lot of efforts for us. So if you share these videos, definitely it will help us to come up, okay, with more videos, because it will motivate us to come up. Okay, so this is not only my efforts, but also our team are relentlessly working for the future initiatives also. Please support us. Please subscribe our channel. Please click the notification bell icon. Please like the video if you liked it. If it is benefiting you, please make sure you hit the like button also. Okay, and give your feedback through the comment box. That will mean a lot to me. Okay, so thank you everyone. Let's meet in the next class. Until then, take care. Bye bye and keep smiling.